Oh, thank you for tagging me. That makes it so much easier.
A lot easier. That's fine.
All right.
Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Good
This
evening.
is the Freedom Truth Radio Show with your host, Vincent E. Scott, where the truth will make you mad first and then make you free. And I have very special guests on with me tonight. Actually, two special guests, one live in the studio with me and one that will be calling in. We have Miss Stephanie Bradbury
Hello, hello.
in the studio with us. And I also have Miss Tavana Evans that is calling in very momentarily. Glad that you're joining us today. And I know for those of you Northeast regional fans of the Eagles, you're probably quite happy and still celebrating from last Sunday's victory at the Super Bowl. Happy for you, whatever. You know, I'm not a big, huge NFL fan because the Super Bowl is probably the only game I'll sit and watch for the whole year, like through its entirety, because I just don't have 3 hours to sit and waste and watch TV like that. I have better things to do with my time. So, you know, for those that do, oh well, that's you, but not me. I could be doing something so much more productive than that. However, we're glad to have Miss Bradbury here with us. How
Thank you
doing
much. Glad to
in
be
the
here.
New year 2018.
Well, April 1st, I will say Happy New Year back to you, but for now,
That's right.
Awesome.
Well, we do know that's the real New Year.
correct.
But,
We want to drop that truth right
of course,
now?
this is the fiscal year, New Year.
Yes,
People that celebrate Janice, but that's fine. You know.
I know. We
It's-
don't have to go there right
Well,
now.
But we got to drop little nuggets every
We
now
will.
and then. Yeah, April 1st. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah. But you are doing big things with your business, and I'm happy for you.
Thank you much. Thank you much.
Let me just throw a side plug in there. Y'all, this young lady makes some of the best soaps and
Thank you.
oils and
Thank you for the claps back
bath
there. High
products
fives.
and natural deodorants. You want to get some stuff from her. What's the website
Thank
real
you.
quick?
It is bradberry.live. That's B as in boy, RADBERRY.LIVE.
Okay, go over there and shop. You know, young, strong black woman, got her own company, making her own products. Go support.
Ooh, you
Stop
called me
buying-
young. I like that.
Stop buying that poison stuff off the grocery store shelves
Please
because
stop.
most of the soap there has pork in it. It's got gelatin in it. It's got all kind of poisons. And you know your skin is your biggest organ.
Absolutely.
So if you are putting that stuff on your skin and washing with it, you're consuming it just as if you would eat it. So you really shouldn't use anything on your skin that you can't eat. But my sister here has great products and soap. I gotta get some more of that charcoal soap.
Oh, it's amazing. Yes.
That's good stuff.
I'm not going to lie to you. There's
That is
not
good.
much left after the event that was on
Oh, really?
Saturday. So,
Okay. All right. Well, I need to put my order in.
yes, because it'll be
that's-
another like 8 weeks before the next batch.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, that's understandable. You know, but she's pushing product. She's got good product, and
Yes.
so support it.
I
I'm not
appreciate
going. I'm not going to push a product that I don't support myself. So I definitely.
And you have supported, and I
yes.
appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm going to support again.
And when the
'cause
honey
it's-
comes out, you will be first
Oh,
on
listen.
the list.
Let me tell you something. We got to stop right there because that honey I forget the name of the farm that she gets it from. That she
No,
distributes
it's
it.
my ex-husband and children are the beekeepers.
Okay, well,
So
listen,
it's Maidenhead honey.
whatever.
You like, I don't care. That local
I
stuff
don't
is the
care.
bomb.
It's local. It's good. It's the best honey. I know. Yeah, I know
Yes.
y'all about to preach on me real quick because I know I said I'm a vegan and
Mm-hmm.
honey ain't vegan because it's from the bee. Listen, I ain't that extreme. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now. Honey is a good thing, especially if you buy it locally, because if you buy local honey, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, you can help fight off some of the local area diseases. Because
Correct, and allergens.
and allergens, right?
Yes.
Okay, I knew it was something like that. But this honey, let me tell you, it doesn't taste anything. First of all, the honey in the store ain't real honey.
Ah.
That's
We're
high
about to go down
fructose.
20
Yeah, well, I
tangents
gotta,
right now.
I have
'cause-
to educate. I told you this is the Freedom Truth Radio Show,
All right.
and you know if the truth gonna make you mad first, and then it's gonna make you free.
Mhm.
That honey, you can taste the difference in
Yes.
that honey and the stuff that people buy in the store that's in the little bear. That is not honey. That is golden high fructose corn syrup. That's exactly what
Yes.
that is. It's not honey. It's not. Now, first of
It's
all,
super
you have
pasteurized.
to ask right. You have to ask yourself the question first. Why is it that that honey is available all year long, and every time you see it in the store, it's the same color? Think about that. It's the same color because if bees are pollinating from different types of flowers, that means all the pollination is not going to be the same color.
Very true.
It's not going to be the same color, and it's not going to be the same consistency every time.
Very true.
Yeah, see, people don't know that. They buy some. Oh, I'm getting some honey put in my tea. It's not real honey.
It's not.
Get some
in
of the
many
honey
ways.
she got.
Thanks. But not yet. It's not out yet. I mean,
Okay.
it's all sold out from the
Okay.
last season,
It's-
and we
it's-
have to wait. But the kids have started
See,
working
that's
on the
another thing.
frames for
Real
the
honey
coming year.
comes out in seasons. It's
Yes.
not available all the time. It comes out in seasons. It's been cold, so you know the bees ain't doing as much work right now.
No.
You gotta wait till it warm up. They might be doing something after today because it was today.
Yeah, it's
Felt
got
like
up to
spring.
61.
Yeah, it was nuts.
I was loving that.
I'm getting some complaints that y'all can't hear me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know what? That might be from my page.
Yeah, because it sounds great on here.
You know what?
Yeah. And I see all my people. I'm about to get some shout outs. I'm
Yeah.
like watching the list go up. I'm like, oh.
Listen, y'all, all of y'all that's watching, I am going to
Yay.
share the page that is coming from Hamilton Radio because apparently the sound coming definitely from the station, and I hear it in my earphones, it's coming out really good.
Yeah,
But
I'm good.
unfortunately,
I'm
it's
probably
not
too
going
close.
as clear on our page. So I'm going to
Oh,
back
so
out
it's
of this. And all of you all that's listening, check out.
because we
I'm
have
gonna
all the
tag-
way out
yeah.
to Minnesota right now. So
I'm
don't
gonna
lose that.
I'm gonna oh yeah, it's out in Minnesota. All right.
Yes.
So you know what? I'm gonna put up another page, a duplicate page, and open up the one that's coming from Hamilton Radio, and you guys can follow that one. I'm gonna share it on my page, and you guys, if you're having trouble hearing us, you can look at that one and hear us just as well. And the camera angle may be a little different, but it's okay.
And there is a bit of a delay.
Yeah, there is a bit of delay. So let's see.
I'm totally not looking at your stuff.
Oh, girl, I ain't got nothing on here. First of all, I don't even like social media. I don't like social media at all because I'm a very private person. But
Join the club.
I have to advertise my radio show and everything else that I do through that medium because that's just the way it works. You know, people don't read newspapers anymore. And,
I do.
well, you know, some people
Us
do.
old souls.
Yeah, that's okay.
We gotta
And,
like look
you
the
know,
page and do annotations in the margins.
yeah, but you know, the social media is pretty much the way that. Hey, Doc, are you? Which page are you posting this particular
this-
broadcast on? Because I don't see it on Hamilton Radio page.
Yeah, it's on Facebook, my Facebook page.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm on. I'm on.
Should be right on there.
I only see the Jordan Maxwell.
Okay. Yeah, see, like on this version, I just like clicked on something and like now I'm able to
Okay.
comment on everyone. Yay.
Can you hear me?
Hold up. Sean's saying you sent the link.
Okay.
Can you check my page?
I don't know. Vashon, can you?
How the radio page doesn't let me post anything?
Okay.
Are you doing your personal page or Hamilton page? Oh, okay. That's what I gotta do.
I post on Hamilton Radio, but it doesn't do anything.
No, I'm gonna go to your personal page. Sorry for the delay, my audience. Thank you all for listening and continuing to listen. But I'm about to post that link up now, figuring out where it is.
Okay, but in the meantime, I'm going to say thank you, everyone who's tuning in. So,
Yeah, definitely.
Vashon, I can definitely see your comments. Thank you very
Oh,
much.
my man Vashon. I didn't
Yes,
know he was
indeed.
back in the country.
Yes,
what's
yes,
up.
yes.
All right. Shout out to my man Vashon. I've been knowing him for years. It's a good brother
for
right
real?
there. Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
All right, and
Okay.
Kim, I will definitely see you on Wednesday, and I will do my thing.
I think I see you now. Okay, good. I'm posting up the link. And I think we have our phone guest on.
Cool.
Miss Tavana Evans, are you there?
Aunt Linda, thank you so much.
Hello.
I will keep representing, and
Hello.
I'll let us start.
Welcome to Freedom Radio.
First of all, my name is Ngozi. You know what I mean?
Oh, my. This is my cousin.
How come every time I'm on people's shows, it's like family members?
What's happening, brother?
What's going on, man?
So first of all, I want to, give all praise due to all and all who's in all, through all, and above all. This is my cousin, the outstanding Vincent E. Scott.
Thank you,
Outstanding mind. We call him the doctor. And that's how we get down.
I hear you, bro. Thank you.
Yes, indeed, man. So I love the topic.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got to, I was watching you live. And, this is the type of night that I come on and enjoy other shows.
Cool. I
And
appreciate that.
get a chance. This is my 7th network to be able to enjoy tonight. And, of course, I got to, that's family. Vincent Scott is all that. So
That's
I got to
it,
call
man.
in. That's how that is.
We've been family for years.
Yeah.
And let me tell y'all something. This is my cousin, y'all, Ngozi. He has a nationally syndicated radio show that's been very successful for the
Nice.
past. How long you been doing it now?
Man, you ready for this? On Mom's day of translation, which, of course, other folks will say the day she passed.
Right.
February 4th, 2013. I've been, the day that the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Right.
I've been on the radio 5 years. Last week on Beverly Nation, we did a Beverly Nation anniversary celebration,
Great.
which was outstanding.
Great.
And we hit the studio all-time records on just that week. Mommy's my angel.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been blessed, man, to be able to use talents of others as well as myself to better man, also to save lives. That's what we try to do every night.
That's what it's all about.
And we want to be successful.
Mm-hmm. That's great, man.
So that's how it is, man. And I'm as proud of you.
Thank you.
I always told you had the opportunity and the ability to do greater than what you're doing right now. And you're doing outstanding at this moment on this radio show at this time.
Appreciate it, man.
Because you have one of the most equivocal minds. You have the outstanding ability to bend the topic and to make sure that people understand the bend.
Yeah.
Not just understand the topic, folks out here. Vince has an outstanding ability to make you understand his bend, to make you understand what he's saying, and you're like, you know what? Damn, he's right. That's great broadcasting right there.
That's good.
And,
Thank you, bro.
Outstanding delivery, and that's like I said, this is the time, man, I get a chance to enjoy just being a listener, man. Because a lot of times, I work, 4 days a week. We do 8 shows a week, 4 days a week. So we do more shows than most networks do in a week. Some people are on every day.
That's true.
I'm not gonna be on every day, man. No, man.
Yeah.
I want to keep my skin young. So I'm not trying to be on every
Use
day.
my products.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah, go over her
And
website,
I
man.
look good too, girl. So you have me looking like I'm 21 years old.
You got that right.
Yeah, but you know, the kid, I like that fact. See how quick she was. Like, you would try my product, old down.
And that's why I'm an entrepreneur.
Yes, indeed. And matter of fact, I would like to follow you on Facebook so I can find more information. Do me a favor on the live. Put your information right now in the live so I can go ahead and follow you. That way, be done in nanoseconds. But like I said, again, I wouldn't have known anything about you wasn't for my cousin. So that just shows you the power of internet radio, the power of precision.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're doing things that, you know, just 10 years ago wouldn't have been thought of. We're talking 2008. Internet radio was just, you know, it was floundering. It was, you know, people didn't take it serious. They even called it blogs. Like, no,
That's
a blog
true.
is something you write. Come on, stop. You know, this is radio. This is true radio. And a lot of times you're going to find more information, like your product, young lady, as well as other key tools on internet radio. It's almost like you got to go to the library to figure it out. If you don't go to the library and read the book, then you'll never know. If you don't listen to your elders about, you know, things that happened back in the day and don't take it and put it in toolize your own life and your own skills, then you'll never know. I always say this, and I'm going to let y'all go because you got a lot, you know, you got business to take care of. You know, one thing goes to be on you all night. But discipline is never the enemy of enthusiasm. I'm going to say this one more time to you. Discipline is never the enemy of enthusiasm. The more discipline you have, especially in your everyday life, this man is a beacon and he's an outstanding chef. That's discipline. Because the stuff that Vince used to eat, I'm out of here, y'all. Have a good night.
Hey, I did my share of damage, man. It's time for new lifestyle now.
And that's where I come in to help.
Indeed. I love you, man. And nothing you can do about it.
Love you the same, bro. All right. Cool. So I don't know if she's gonna try to call in again. She might have tried and got an interrupted line. But if she does, we'll catch her when she calls in. But I want to continue talking to my friend here, Ms. Bradbury.
All right, let's get it.
One of the things I really want to discuss here is one of the. Why am I getting a?
Oh, that's probably because of my phone.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Yes, I know. It sounded like weird feedback. Hold on, I'm gonna mute it.
Cool. No, that's cool. One of the things I want to talk about is the fact that one, you are an entrepreneur. So it took a lot of courage to do that and to walk away from a regular 9-to-5 job that I'm sure that the kind of job that people call secure.
Yes.
And however, it's not that secure because you work 40 hours a week for 40 years only to get 40% of your income.
Mm-hmm.
And you thought within yourself you need something greater than that. What first of all, what is the first thing that prompted you or inspired you to pretty much step out and say, I gotta grab the bull by the horns and do this myself?
Well, the first actually would have been my transition from academia. So I was a adjunct professor. I started out as a high school English teacher, and then I kind of like shifted into higher ed, and I realized how politically charged academia was, and yeah, eventually it was like, you know what, I'm already doing all this stuff, I might as well turn it into a business. And to actually keep teaching at one of the institutions, they're like, you have to become a sole proprietor of your own business in order to get paid. And I was like, well, that's interesting. So
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yes. So that was actually a first step. And I'm like, well, I'm already traveling all these places. I'm already tutoring, doing all these things. Well, I'll just turn it into an educational business. And that's what I did. So that was actually the first one. And then it was my health crisis that prompted the health and wellness business. And I was trying for the longest to mesh the two together, and it just was not working. So literally it's like all those other doors had to close in order for me to kind of step into the fact that, you know what, I have to keep going this way.
Keep going that way. So it was better for you to keep going in that vein than to go back and try to do a conventional job where you had already kind of stepped out in that vein because you were they pretty much said you have to be a business in order to operate.
Correct.
Wow. So Now, with the health and wellness, did you continue to do some of the academia work, or did you kind of do both at the same time, or just say, I'm going to leave that behind and go for the health and wellness?
No, I did both at the same time because the academic business by far was
Yeah.
very lucrative. But
Okay, good.
at the same time, it was one of those, there were jobs there, but how fulfilling was it?
Okay.
In the health and wellness, it just seemed like it was growing organically, but
Yeah.
there was much more fulfillment out of the fact that someone who had a problem would come back in 2 days and it's like, hey, I'm
Yeah.
totally turned around. And it's like, that's really awesome.
Yeah. So the gratification.
Correct.
That's good.
Hmm.
Well, you know, health and wellness is $1 trillion industry right now.
Yes.
This is the time to cash in. It really is. I mean, there's so many opportunities with the trends, and people are waking up. They're realizing that the pharmaceutical industry has been, they've been duped by it, and they're realizing that, you know, the chemicals in food are detrimental to their health. So, you know, they're figuring out that they have to do something different.
Yes.
You know, they have to, there's a paradigm shift in the mentality of people and how they're approaching their health and wellness lifestyles. And they are always looking for someone that's knowledgeable in that type of field. So with that in mind, when you got well established into this health and wellness business, the one thing I really want to focus on, and that makes you stand out, is your branding. Tell me about that.
My branding. Well, that's always a work in progress, but
Okay.
I can say that you know your branding is strong, that when you change your name, people still know that it's your product. And I've
That's
had
good.
people who, you know, they bought 3 years ago and they come across me again and it's like, you see them like pacing back and forth in front of the table and it's just like, I don't know, there's just something, like, I recognize this energy, like, I don't know, like, did you used to be this? And I'm like, yes, you know, it's
Yeah.
the same thing. I just changed the branding. And so before, my actual product was Natural Herbal Blends. And, you know, everybody kind of knew it as that. Nobody knew the LLC name, and people still don't know the LLC name,
Right.
which is why I came back and I'm like, for
Okay.
clarification. And you're like, yeah, what she said.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
it is a mouthful, but people know the brand before they actually know the business.
Business, right.
And so when I switched over to Bradbury, that was like a nice battle, if you will, that I won because I can actually say I own my name.
That's good.
And so it's like I am my product, and that's one thing people kept telling me is
I
that,
like that.
you're the best representation of
Yes.
what you're actually doing. I mean,
That's
can you
good.
imagine if I'm selling health and wealth and I'm like, you know, shoveling down the pork bacon and got like
See, yeah,
zits all over my
that's not gonna
face,
work.
and
No.
I'm very corpulent, you know,
Yeah.
that I'm probably not gonna do too well there.
No.
But
No.
people are like, no, you're your best asset.
Yeah.
You like sell
People
yourself.
love people that are products of the product, you know.
Exactly.
And I think that's very, very important, because one thing is, like you said, you know, you can't preach one message and then live a different lifestyle.
Well, you can, but it's
Well,
not
you
gonna
can.
work
you
out
have
too
people
well.
that do it, but I mean, they don't get too many believers and followers with that. Now, you know, I have to say, how I met this young lady, I was at one of the things from Mercer County. They have this outdoor thing they do every summer, through like the summer months through September, where they have people that are vendors. They sell their products, and you know, the food vendors out there, a couple of musicians out there playing. And I came across her table, and this is just when I was starting to use more natural products. I was changing my health, and I came across her table and I saw that she had natural deodorant, because I had been reading all this stuff about, you know, the aluminum sulfites
yeah.
and you know, the parabens and stuff that's in conventional deodorant that really can cause cancer, and they do a number on your skin. So
Absolutely.
I wanted to stop using that, because for a while I just stopped using that, and I was just using like baking soda and like stuff like that. But I didn't want to keep carrying around boxes of baking soda with me. So I said, I got to find a natural. They're hard to find. You don't find natural deodorant products. And she happened to be selling a natural deodorant product, a deodorant. And I said, wow. I said, what is it? And I noticed she had an ingredient in the deodorant that I had just read up on that really does wonders for your insides.
The diatomaceous
diatomaceous
earth.
earth. Yes. That, and I saw it. I was like, whoa. I said, this is in your deodorant? I'm buying it. Give me one. Give me one of them soaps and give me a couple other things. And I used it. And I mean, I used it and then I didn't see you for a while. So I kept that thing. I was trying to scrape the little bit out.
That's everybody. I have like
I'm
the
serious.
worst business model because it's like
No,
people
but
hold on to my stuff for like a year and they're like,
Yeah,
it's
I
been
kept
like
that for
2
a
years
long
and I
time.
still got
I
a
was
corner.
still,
I'm like,
like,
use
trying
it
to
for goodness sakes.
use
Like,
it. I said, I'm gonna
it.
use a little bit. I'm gonna keep it until I see her again. I'm gonna ask, you still have this? You know what I'm saying?
People
So,
send me like pictures of the label.
Yeah,
like I
because
know
I
you
was
can
like-
barely read it, but just
I'm
give
like,
me that.
I'm gonna keep this bottle because I don't know if she still carried this or not. And then, you know, I was glad when I finally ran into you again. I'm like, you still make that deodorant? Yes. Okay. Good. I'm gonna continue to support the products.
Thank you.
You know, but that's a good business model when you have a product that's so good that people want to hold on to the container. You know, because we hadn't seen each other for a while, so I'm like, I don't know if she's still in the area or she moved or, you know. I said I gotta find her, and I forgot when we ran into each other again.
It was probably Instagram.
It might, yes,
Instagram.
It wasn't because you had posted up some pictures of the new soaps. I'm like, I need that. Yes.
You're like, and throw in some of those honeys too.
Yeah, and let me tell y'all, the charcoal soap, y'all,
It's amazing.
you have to get
That's
a
the
bar
name
of
of it.
this.
It is amazing, but it's called It's
Charcoal soap
Amazing.
is amazing. It works wonders for your skin. If y'all got teenagers that have acne problems, give them that soap. Stop letting them use the ivory and all that other stuff that's breaking out their skin. It's actually worse for their skin. You might as well
Yes.
just put some Crisco on their skin, you know, and
Wow.
but you know that don't clean them. Yeah, whatever. Anyway,
I know, 'cause
Brandy.
I was about to go in. You know, once I go in, I don't stop. That's
I
why I'm
know
just
you
like,
could've. Yeah, no, that's what the show is
Once I
for.
go in.
We could talk about that because many people are very unaware to a lot of the ingredients that are in the conventional bath products that we buy on the shelves. Like, I mean, you could talk about that for a little bit. What are we actually putting in our skin when we use these conventional, mainstream, publicly traded products? We use, you know, Dove, Ivory, Caress, all that stuff. We're putting on our skin. It smells so good, and it bubbles up. People, they get psyched by that. Oh, there ain't enough suds for me.
I know if it's not sudsing up, I'm not getting clean.
Suds don't clean you. It's just nice. It feels soft, and you know when you're taking a shower, but it doesn't clean you, and it doesn't do well for your skin.
And a quarter moisturizer is just leaving an oil slick in your shower and bathtub.
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
moisturizer is moisturizer. It's not a soap, which a soap is supposed to be a cleansing agent, not a moisturizing agent per se.
Okay, so if you want moisture, that's what lotion is for. Well,
Correct.
not lotion, but get you some shea butter, y'all, or something like that. But
Or my Coco Shea, which just came back out 2.0.
all right, good. All right, use that.
All right, but your question was about some of the ingredients. So
Yeah.
I'll just stick with some of the common culprits here. So in terms of soaps and a lot of creams that you will be using, you want to definitely look out for SLS, which is sodium lauryl sulfate, and also
that's a bad
sodium
one.
lauryl sulfate. It is known to cause a lot of upper respiratory issues. So a lot of kids end up with asthma very early on, and the family's like, we have no clue where this came from, but a lot of times it's simply what you're bathing your child in, or
Wow.
what you're actually like just lathering on them. And all right, so I got to digress there. Let's talk
That's
about
fine.
that as well. A lot of times, I mean, right when the baby's right out the womb, the first thing they're getting is Vaseline or some form of petroleum
Wow.
jelly.
Yeah,
And
that's pretty bad.
I mean, petroleum, you have petrol, which is gasoline. It is a known human carcinogen, and when it breaks down into your bloodstream, it turns into formaldehyde.
Wow.
And the best example I can give people is when a boxer gets cut, they're putting Vaseline on that, and it seals it right up.
Okay.
Should we like stop?
Yeah,
Ready?
let's
Yes.
bring her in.
Okay,
Okay.
I just didn't want to.
Miss
No, we're
Tavana, are you on the line?
Yes, I am. Hi,
Great.
everyone.
Welcome to Freedom Truth
Hello.
Radio Show.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm so sorry. It's been a crazy week.
No, it's cool. I listen. I'm glad to finally have you on. Say hello to Miss Stephanie Bradbury here.
Hello.
Hi, Miss Stephanie. How are you?
And,
I'm great. How are you?
Stephanie, this is
I'm
Tavana
good.
Evans. She has started her own cryptocurrency. So
Nice.
I wanted to make this a powerfully impacted show because I think it's very important to bring up female entrepreneurs, and namely Black female entrepreneurs that are very successful and very courageous in their business. And I think we're talking about Black History Month. Even though I don't like that term, I don't really subscribe to that because we don't have a history month. Our history is all year long. But if they want, they want to give us a small little 28-day month, whatever. Okay, I'm gonna celebrate my sisters that are successful business owners and put them on the map so you guys can support them in their products and their endeavors, and let's keep the dollars in the community. All right, Ms. Stephanie, please continue in your explanation about those ingredients. And Ms. Tavana, I'm going to bring you on in a few minutes and talk about your crypto.
Okay.
All right. So picking up with the Vaseline, so we got to the fact that it breaks down into formaldehyde in your bloodstream, and then that's pretty much just sitting in your organs. So you're literally preserving yourself from the inside out. So if you're looking at a boxer, they get cut, they're putting on Vaseline, I mean, it seals it up right away. Think about what that's doing to your insides. So a lot of people who are coming up with cancer these days, they're like, I never smoked a day in my life. I haven't done any of these things that would necessarily promote cancer growth, but they haven't been looking at what they're putting on their largest organ, which is their skin. And it's like, if you just read the labels, just take the time and actually read your labels, because there's so many things in there that are just disastrous to your systems. And so many things are reversible just by changing what you're putting on your skin, and the investment is totally worth it. And so I'm actually glad that you have someone on today who's going to talk about financial health, because when we talk about health and wellness, it's not just about mind, body, soul, but it is about finances as well, which is another way that we ended up meeting, because when you were on the show, you were talking about that.
Talking about finances.
Yes, so I think it's all totally interconnected.
It really is.
When you invest in yourself, it's not just the monetary investment, it's also what you're investing in your health.
And also, not to, at the risk of sounding too religious, but we can take a verse from the book of scripture that says, I would that you would be prosperous and in good health. So the two work hand in hand. Health is wealth. That's the new mantra that people hold fast to nowadays. But you can't have a wealthy mentality unless you have a healthy mentality. It's very important that if you're going to change your lifestyle all the way around, if you're trying to gain wealth or trying to increase your finances, you have to change your mindset as well. There's certain things that if you study the lifestyle of successful millionaires and billionaires, there's certain things they just don't do, certain things they just don't engage in, certain things they just don't eat, certain things they just don't surround themselves with because of their lifestyle. They're so keen on being disciplined in the things that they attract themselves to. And that's very important. You can't involve yourself in everything. And the parasites of social media, and social media can be a great tool if it's used the right way, but it's also a lot of parasitical information and negative media that's on there, and you have to keep yourself away from that, as well as the stuff that they put on TV that's just feeding you fear and feeding you bad entertainment and feeding you bad images about what you think you should be, instead of using your own common sense about how you should be in your life and develop your own lifestyle and your own trend and your own, instead of following what the Kardashians are doing. Why don't you develop your own trend? I think it's pretty sad that Black women for years have cornrowed their hair and they've been ridiculed for it. And here she comes along. She's a Greek and she cornrows her hair. Oh, it's the newest trend. Kim Kardashian has cornrowed her hair and everybody's following. Get out of here with that foolishness. Come on now. Just because she does something, now all of a sudden now it's a popularized and accepted trend. I don't agree with that. Because everybody else that was doing it prior to that is, oh no, this is too ethnic. Can't bring that here. it's not appropriate for the job site. That's a bunch of foolishness. So with all that in mind, I want to, and side note, y'all, Stephanie just talked about Vaseline and petroleum jelly. Y'all mothers stop putting an inch thick of Vaseline on your babies when they go out in the cold. You think, oh no, they got to be lathered up. They got to be sealed up from the cold. That stuff is ruining their skin and ruining from the inside.
Well, and from the outside, because you're right, it's sealing them up. But that protection of sealant means that your skin can't breathe. So now all the bacteria, everything else is just, it's a breeding ground of disaster.
I know when I was a little kid, I used to have a snowsuit on, and my face looked like a can of Crisco. I know. I had so much Vaseline on my face. Right? Oh, my God. But, you know, that was the age I came up with, and that's what parents thought they should do. But now we have better information.
Exactly.
And we know better, we do better. So, Ms. Tavana, I want to talk to you. You have done pretty much the unthinkable in the financial world. And first of all, you're a female. Second of all, you're a black female, or a Nubian queen, as I like to say better, because black, we're not crayons, we're not colors. We actually have a nationality. However, you are a sister of African descent who has started her own cryptocurrency company, and this you stand out amongst the financial world, because right now you have the most popular cryptocurrency being Bitcoin and some Ethereum and Litecoin, and they have taken off, and right now they're kind of plateauing. What made you step out to do something this courageous?
Well, I think I've been doing a lot of kind of courageous things, I guess, for a while. Anything to do for our community and technology, I'm like all for, and I see no limit. I didn't really kind of consider it stepping out. It's just more so something that needed to be done. Being in technology, I've been in technology for almost 20 years.
Wow.
And I've gotten to get a good vantage point of where we are compared to where technology is. And filling the gap is what I've been about since day one. And how can we fill the gap? Because I can't sit back and watch technology get ahead, or we have another situation like the .com boom, and we're on the tail end of that movement. So pretty much cryptocurrency solved two problems for me. Years ago, I looked into alternative currencies because I thought, hey, when I first found out about alternative currencies, I was like, well, hey, black folks, my folks, we should have an alternative currency. I thought that would be so cool. Now, I was researching the Liberty Dollar, which I believe is backed by silver, and other types of alternative currencies. And again, I was heavily into building our community and black economics and stuff like that. So I just thought it only made sense that we would be looking at something like our own currency. But I realized the barriers to that, the legal barriers especially, are tremendous. So now along comes cryptocurrency, which is like a spark in an explosion in a warehouse of explosives, something that you just can't stop. Like the internet. This is the new internet. So,
that's right.
I flashed back to my thoughts of us having our own currency, and I was like, okay, wow, here's the answer. You can't stop technology. So I began to conceptualize what this, currency would look like, what this coin would look like, and what purpose that this would have. And, of course, the premier thing for me was supporting black-owned businesses, because that, to me, is like the center of our communities should be, our businesses. And of course, me being a serial entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
and not knowing not only how difficult it is to even be able to get the capital to open a business, but to be able to maintain it.
Right.
Yes. I'm on both sides.
Wow.
So I see how important it is to first have our businesses, but I also see how important it is for us to support these businesses so that they can thrive and they can stay open. So that, birthed what the whole movement and I like to call it a movement because it really is. That's what birthed the whole movement surrounding Guapcoin.
Now, first of all, people, I'm going to post her website. I believe if I'm correct, it's guapcoin.com.
Yes.
Okay.
Guapcoin.com.
And do people still have an opportunity to participate in the ICO right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Our ICO is still running. We still have the opportunity to participate. And we're working on lots of other things to bring this to make this as accessible to us as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can definitely go to the website and participate at the moment.
Yeah, I'm going to post that up in the chat room right now so people can see it and go to it and go ahead and get some of that instead of buying Bitcoin and
get Guap.
And get you some Guapcoin.
This is the one thing I don't. Well, I do understand, but I guess one of the things we've been battling, and this is why a lot of people are like, when you mention doing something for the community on this level, they try to talk you out of it.
Yeah, I saw some of the kickbacks you've been getting. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to support. Why would you even bother? And I've seen a tremendous amount of support. But then on the other half, I've seen people who are in the industry like myself and involved in cryptocurrency, and they're the ones that are reluctant to support.
Wow.
The people as a whole, I mean, like I said, we get some great support from people in general. But it's the people who are involved in cryptocurrency or involved in financial or black, investing, et cetera, that we've had, a lack of support in that area.
That's really good because now some of the negative feedback is really sad because people are like, well, why should you just start a cryptocurrency just geared towards black people? I think they're missing the point. It's just you're trying to help develop our own infrastructure in our community. Am I correct?
Right, because I mean, it starts at home, starts in your community,
yes,
and then it goes outward. No one in the cryptocurrency community is concerned with your issues. With solving for your issue. So, the barrier, the divide is only going to continue to grow because they're moving at lightning speed.
Yes.
And they're not concerned with the issues that affect you or the barriers that affect you. So someone has to deal with those barriers, and I feel like it has to be us.
Yeah.
It has to be us to deal with the education barriers, the social barriers. It has to be us. It has to be someone who truly cares. So when I get in front of my community, I truly care that they know about this and they get it, and that it's accessible to them and that it benefits them.
Right. Well, the interesting thing about it is that no one fights the Chinese community when they build Chinatown. No one fights the Jewish community when they have their own separate community, their own grocery store, their own hospital, their own synagogues. Everything is their own housing. No one fights that. No one fights Little Italy or any other community that has their own separate infrastructure. Is that when we try to do it ourselves, that's reverse racism. Are you kidding me?
You see, all of these communities, they give them their own community privilege.
Right.
So
that's right.
So there's privileges. And amongst their own community, it's like you give your family preference and privilege, etc.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with giving your own privilege
Not at all.
and preference and all of that. I have a problem with that. So, again, we do have to build some sort of privilege or preference to even, be able to be competitive on a level playing field with everybody else. So, I mean, we have to do that. And we don't, and, ironically, I think that there are even a lot of white folks out there who would prefer that we give our own selves privilege and we work, and we help our own.
Oh, of course.
They would prefer that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're like,
because
there's people,
we're looked at by many in the community outside of us that they would say, well, why don't you stop looking for a handout? And that's
right.
That's not everybody in our community, but it is. We have a poor representation of it.
Right.
Of people that choose to do that, and it makes the rest of us who choose to work hard look bad.
Yeah, right, exactly. So we have to, have that courage to step up on both sides and just be like, look, we have to, if we want to fight gentrification,
yes,
we have to build our community up. We
That's
have
right.
to, maintain our community. We have to make sure our community is safe, make sure that our community is, if we don't want police coming in and beating us up, then we have to make sure that our own community
absolutely.
is police.
Yes.
We have to make sure, whatever happened to, the brothers standing on the corner, you know what I mean? Like policing the communities. I mean, it popped up for a little bit and then it died down.
Yep.
If we don't want harsh laws and harsh enforcement of laws on us, then we have to create some type of law and order and that because you can't just get rid of the law and then not have any law to replace it.
That's right.
So we have to begin to make these steps to instituting these things. It's not just about bringing these things down. It's about having a solid system to replace
it. That's right. It's crazy you mention it because when I was growing up, the policing community was all the other parents. You couldn't do what you wanted to do. I mean, children were free to play and do whatever. But if you did anything out of line, any parent or any set of parents on my street could say anything to you, and you would have to straighten up. And you better not talk back. And if you got dealt with there, they came and reported it to your parents, and you got dealt with again at home. See, and that's the kind of structure that I came up in, and that kept us in line because we didn't have to have. If a cop came down our street, it was like, oh man, he's coming to show off his car or something, but he wasn't coming to fight crime because our parents took care of that. They were the neighborhood watch.
Yeah, yep. If you don't take care of your own yard and your own garden, and those weeds start to grow out into other people's yards and things, they're gonna come in and deal with you. That's just how it is.
Right.
People are gonna protect, their property and their whatever, and people tend to be way more harsher on you than you would have to be if you just took care of it yourself.
Yeah.
That's just the law of how. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
And when I'm talking to people and I'm like, we're talking heavily about, again, police brutality and stuff like that. I'm like, well, why don't we have neighborhood watches? Why are we not policing? Why are we not, if you're policing your neighborhood, then you know who the police are who come in your neighborhood.
That's right.
And and they have to respect you, but they won't respect you if there's no presence. If there's no presence there, they're just going to do whatever they want to do.
That's very true.
But believe you me, if there is a presence and it's a strong presence, then they have to honor you because they are servants, they're public servants.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, but there's no order, then they're going to be disorderly as well.
They are.
So you know, it's all about just being proactive and taking proactive charge of many different things, you know, whether it's economic, social, etc. And it's that time, like, it's really that time to step up and do those things, you know,
Right.
because none of us really want disorder. You
No.
know, we really don't. We don't want things to just be crazy, you know.
Mhm.
But anyway,
Let me ask. This is a question posed to both of you, and either of you can answer first. It doesn't matter. But what I want to ask is, do you encounter the pushback sometimes when you, as a black female, present a business to maybe some upper class businessmen or whatever, and do you ever get the pushback that you're not being taken seriously? Like you're not serious about your business. It's just a hobby that you're doing.
yeah, honestly, I think I've been really blessed because I've been in the industry for so long
Mm-hmm.
that people on the higher ups, they tend to respect me.
Okay.
I have a more difficult time with my immediate family
Wow.
and people who are closer around me. Now,
That's a shame.
that's who I personally have more difficult with
Mm-hmm.
because people tend, it's like people really local to you or close to you, they don't tend to see your vision, you know, the way that you
Right.
do. But when you work in the professional, you know, world, you build a lot of colleagues. Like I personally in the IT industry I have a lot of colleagues,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
That's great.
And it's a small world, especially when you're a person of color and you're a woman,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So you're bound to know somebody somewhere else
That's
that
good.
can kind of like, you know, vouch for you, you know,
Mhm.
if this is what you do. But I haven't had as much of a difficulty with that when it's coming to pitching to my people
Mm.
per se.
Mhm.
You know, I haven't had as much of difficulty. What I find is that with us, it's kind of like we are very individualistic. You know what I mean?
Crabs
it's
in a
like
barrel.
one person will have a great idea,
Mm-hmm.
but it's hard finding people to rally around that one great idea.
Yes.
Like you have a great idea, someone else has a great idea,
Mhm.
and everybody is trying to put forth their idea, and no one is rallying around any one person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like let's get this off, or let's do this. It's like it's very competitive in our community.
Yeah.
When you have ideas and things that you want to put out, it becomes really competitive.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well,
would have to say.
yeah. Please.
I would have to say my experience is very similar to hers, that I honestly did not experience any pushback in terms of my business for
Good.
anyone outside of the community. What I did find was that usually they just wanted a piece of my business. So
Yeah.
they would want to take it, break it apart, sell it off,
Mhm.
etc. Or it's like, I mean, people were already calculating points on my business. Like, well, if she does this, that's like 1 point for me, 1 point for you. Da, 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 da.
Yeah,
And it's like every
yeah.
time I was on a plane, train, or in some sort of automobile, it was like these men were like bidding on my business, basically.
Wow. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
They want to
Absolutely.
get a piece of it, get a piece of the pie.
Exactly. But
Mhm.
at home, it's like, forget it. You know,
Okay.
it's
Wow.
just like,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll sit back and see if
kind of,
something
You
happens.
see, that's why you have to be so strong,
Mm-hmm.
because really your family encouragement and our community is not really there. You know, our elders and stuff are used to jobs, and
Yes.
you get a job, or you know, they don't care what kind of job it is. They don't
Yep.
care if it's a minimum wage job.
Listen, they used to tell me,
Sometimes
just get
people
you a
will-
good job with benefits.
Yeah,
Mhm.
get you
You
a
know.
job with benefits.
Yeah.
And my mom, for the longest, I mean, she's very supportive, but
Mhm.
my mom, for the longest, you know, she's job oriented. She was job oriented, so
Mhm.
it's like, you know, I would get very, very good jobs. You know, I'd have 6-figure jobs, and you know, my mom was like, well, you know, you need to kind of stay with that the six-figure jobs.
That looks good.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I would go start working for corporate, and there'd be, I have a colleague, he likes to call it corporate welfare. So I would get corporate welfare, and it's like your soul is being sucked from you because you're doing such good stuff for them.
Yeah.
And of course, you're not getting nothing, no type of recognition or anything.
You're making six figures. They're making 7 and 8.
Yeah, you're giving your soul to them, and you're
That's
like,
right.
wow, I'm
And you
giving
better
them
be
so
grateful.
much. But at the end of the day, when this job is over, I'm not going to have anything to show for it, and they got a couple extra billion in their account. So it's like you look at it and you start to think, well, dag, this is what I could be doing for my company, or I could be doing this for my community, or and you're really conflicted.
Yeah, that's interesting. Now, Ms. Stephanie, is this something with your health and wellness business? Is this something that you're looking to possibly go nationwide, or perhaps maybe franchise, or get into nationally branded stores?
The tricky question. So I would say I'm already nationwide because I ship all over.
Okay, good.
I will ship internationally as well. In terms of franchise, no. My product is too unique for that. In terms of storefronts, I have been down that road, and a lot of times you have to find that balance between, am I going to do consignment, or do I need you to just buy all the product outright and then you resell it? So I've been through all variations of that, and quite honestly, I like just making my own product and selling my own product, at will.
Okay. Now, to Ms. Tavana, do you is your cryptocurrency being operated on the blockchain, or have you developed your own?
The first iteration of Guap is a ERC20 compatible token, which operates on the Ethereum blockchain. But we are currently building our own blockchain. So that's the next iteration, and that's the reason for the token sale in the way that it is. Some people say, well, why don't you, if you're willing to get tokens out, why don't you just do an airdrop and just get it out there? But we're actually, raising funds so that we can complete our own private blockchain.
That's really good.
For
that will be the cryptocurrency to have, because once we can get the rest of our community on board with that, we can really develop our own community infrastructure. And not only that, that's the one thing we have to do, is take control over our dollar. I don't think our community realizes the amount of buying power that we have.
No, we don't.
I don't think we realize it.
That's the reason for Guap. Like, we're trying to show people just how valuable we are, and just how valuable our spending is, because we spend trillions of dollars and we're marginalized for what you're spending. But all you got to do, I'm one of them people that's like, the proof is in the pudding kind of people.
Oh yeah, me too.
So it's like, oh, you want to prove it? So okay, let's prove it. The numbers don't lie,
no,
and it's quite easy to do. So I'm like, let's show them. Just like we can get together and we can vote a black president in, we can all come together and have a cryptocurrency that is reflective of the spending that occurs in the black community.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So we can put our money where our mouth is, so to speak.
I'm telling you, people don't realize how powerful it is, because if we just stop shopping at Walmart for a week, they would go bankrupt. If every black person in the country would stop shopping at Walmart for 1 week, they would have to close up shop.
Yeah, and because we know that they ain't gonna do that.
No, of course not.
That's why this is so important. Why
they're not gonna do that, because they got to go get Miss Patty's pies.
Right. So we're like, well, we know you're not gonna go stop shopping at Walmart, but let's track and see. When you start seeing the money circulate in your community, and you can visibly see it, then you're going to want it. It's like magnetic. It's just going to grow, because you're going to want to continue to do that. And you have the evidence to show how good the work, how good it is. and
Yeah.
that's all people need. People need to see it. They need to see it in operational. They need to be able to see it, because that even seeing it builds pride and value, and more pride and value is only going to attract more wealth, more investment, more of this,
Mhm.
because of that value and that pride.
Absolutely. I follow Dr. Claude Anderson, and I find his
Oh, yeah.
teaching to be very inspirational. And one thing he
Yeah.
says is that in all the other communities that I've mentioned, especially the Asian community, the Jewish community, all their dollars circulate between 12 to 18 times within their community before it's even let out.
Mhm.
Us,
Mhm.
we get paid and it goes right out, like
Right
a
out
vacuum
of
cleaner.
me.
Yes, we are the fastest.
Yeah, but we have to change that where it begins to circulate within our community. And, you have to do it at least 10 to 12 times for it to count. So that means, okay, I'm a chef by trade. Okay,
Mhm.
my sister Stephanie here sells health and wellness products. You have cryptocurrency. So if we all buy into your cryptocurrency, we can all trade and barter our products with that currency and not even use the US dollar. Like, okay, I cook, I make vegan food, I'll sell that to you. Your kids take vegan lunches to school or whatever it is they have. You, by trade, you'll sell me your health and wellness products, and we're circulating your cryptocurrency. That would be, if we could get our whole, this is just the three of us, if we get our whole community to do that, we would have a powerful community. We could actually take over this country.
But I have to pause it there, because we actually have to have places to do that.
Yes, we do.
And
that's very true.
People have to do good business. It's
Yes.
that simple.
And that's been the problem with us, because most people say,
Well, I agree.
Mhm.
And actually, our platform is in the blockchain has the ability to have voting and stuff like that within it.
Good.
Once you start, like I said, when you make these things transparent and so that people can see, that is the only thing that's going to build a quality of service
Mhm.
and institute a quality of service, because the transparency, the support, all of
Yes.
that is there. You understand?
That's a good
it's just
thing.
like the Better Business Bureau. I
Mhm.
mean, nobody wants to get a bad rating on the Better Business Bureau.
No.
And people who do good, they're gonna want to get to be reinforced
Mhm.
and supported. So we need to build up these structures to be able to do so. And I understand why sometimes we do business the way that we do it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, first of all, it's the lack of support that we have at home for business. So we kind of sometimes we approach these things from a kind of like a squirrel perspective. I got to get this. I have to do this. And I don't have any time to build this out properly, because at the end of the day, I still have to pay my bills, I have to pay my rent, and try to run this business. You understand what I'm saying? So there's a lot that goes into some of the reasons why we do business the way we do. And me, I've been in business for a while, and even being in the IT business, and I've been guilty. It's funny because some of the things that people have brought to me as complaints, I've been guilty of probably having been that way as well. So it's like I can look on both sides.
Yes.
But the people who complain, they also have their issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so it's like a circle. It's a vicious circle that goes around. You got people who they don't want to pay what something, should be very readily worth. And, and then you got people who don't feel that their stuff is valuable to require what it's worth.
Right.
So it's all value issues. It's like self-worth and value issues that leak over into business, and then it becomes a lot. So if we work on these things and we build our self-worth and our value and, build that education and in business and in doing business, that's the only thing that's going to fix it. But we have to kind of get it out in the wild. We have to start practicing these things and to even, you know,
Yes.
get to that point.
Absolutely. It's good. Ms. Stephanie, any closing remarks?
My only closing remarks would be, as usual, I'm always here to meet people's unique health, wellness, and beauty needs naturally, and skincare needs, of course. And there's tons of ways to follow me, but we're not going to go through all that because they are already in the comment list. And you know, there's like 20,000 social media. But it's already in the comments link, and I will make sure that I share it on all the pages.
Ms. Tavana, you want to give me closing remarks?
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to say something too, because Saturday I just thought it was I was talking to, I actually got an opportunity to teach some kids about cryptocurrency.
Good.
And the biggest thing that I was able to talk to them about was to teach them how something becomes valuable. And I think that that's something like that's super duper duper important, because they were like, well, if you start your own coin, where does the value come from? Where does the worth come from? You know, and we had a whole big conversation on how something becomes valuable and how something becomes worthy.
Good.
And this is all tied to like your creativity. And if you're a creative person like myself, I'm a creative person. I create things. And when you're a creative person and people, your things or whatever it is that you create become of demand, this is what drives this whole economic system and this whole system of cryptocurrency is really demand.
Yes.
And the thing about it is, amongst our community, we create a lot of things that become in demand, even if it's just music,
that's very true.
or whatever. If you turn on social media, we have a lot of influencers, a lot of demand.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of what do you call it, technical or digital capital out there. So cryptocurrency becomes the avenue to monetize that. You know what I mean? So it's not just about that you have 1 million followers. You know, now you have 1 million people that really want something that you have to give. So you have a way of assigning and creating value to that through cryptocurrency. So this is something that I wanted to share on the behalf of values.
Yeah,
but
that's beautiful.
Guapcoin, excuse me?
No, I said that's beautiful that they were able to learn where value comes from or how it's created.
Right, that you created, and that stirs their creativity and their creative juices and gets them out there like, oh, I'm going to make something. And that's what I'm in this game for. I want to inspire people to get out there and make something. If you want to create a coin, create a coin.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm all for it. I talk to people now every day that are like having ideas. That to me, my favorite word, dope. So dope. I just love it, you know? So if I inspire creativity, that's like the best. That's what we're really trying to do, because that's what's going to build, you know, these things in our community, and that's going to build so much tremendous worth for us. But, you know, that's my little closing thing. In Guapcoin is guapcoin.com. We are on Facebook. We have a newbie crypto community. It's called Guap Crypto Newbies. And we purposely have started a community that's more geared towards newbies, because a lot of people are new in this and they have questions, and we want them to feel like totally comfortable to open up and learn about this, you know, and feel like they have a place that they can, you know, that they're not going to be ridiculed or forgotten or left behind.
Great. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Two very successful female business owners on my show. Please go support them. Again, the link for Ms. Bradbury's products are on the chat room, and as well, I already posted Ms. Tavana Evans' company, guapcoin.com. Go over and check that out. Go over and support by investing and buying into some of those tokens at the ICO level right now before it's being publicly introduced. When is the date for the release?
Well, we will release the tokens at the close of the token sale. But if you're asking about exchanges, which everybody asks, that's not something that we really control.
Okay.
You know, we have to get them out in a good circulation for exchanges to even begin to consider, you know, wanting to have that coin on their exchange.
Okay. Good. Well, get on over there to the website and support, buy into that, because that's helping to build our communities up, and we can teach our children about the fact that it's possible for you to start something and create something and own it and present it to the world. You don't have to be anybody's employee for the rest of your life.
Sure don't.
You
Move
can,
to the other side of the quadrant.
Let's empower our children and let them know that they can exercise creativity by making something count in this world. All right. So it's been more than a pleasure having both of you here on the show, and I'm so glad I had the opportunity. I'm very honored to have both of you for your contribution and the things that you're presenting to the world. And I'm praying and hoping that they go internationally recognized and they take off. I'm going to be a supporter. For one, I'm going to be the one that I can be accountable for myself to support both of you all in your endeavors. And
Thank you.
I'm going to push the word out for other people to support it as well.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you.
And thank you for inviting me to the show.
Yes, yes. And this will not be the last time. I'll definitely have you on again, Ms. Devonna and Ms. Stephanie. You know, both of you have open invitations.
Thank you.
We're going to talk about this some more because I think it's very important for people to realize that women are very powerful in business. And when they put their minds to something, they get it accomplished. And I think we
You
need
got
to
that
give
right.
more credence to that. Yeah. All right. So that is the close of our show. Thank you all for listening, those of you all that tuned in. And we will not be back next week. I'm actually supposed to be away next week. So we will continue with another show on the 25th, not the 18th. So thank you all for listening to Freedom Truth Radio, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.